Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast. My name is Luke.
I'm BJ.
And I'm Matt. Like, I already... Okay, to get back to our conversation.
We're talking about Initial D fan fiction and how
I
Matt
already,
reads
like,
gay fan fiction.
could like, see, like, a lot of things that people could make connections of. But for some reason, I always forget that there is just another realm beside any IP that's...
Just full of horny people.
Hypersexualized, yeah.
Well,
fan fiction.
all it takes for a fan fiction to be created is these two characters said hi once.
Yeah, these two men looked at each other one time.
And respect each other, and they're like... They respect each other.
They suck each other's cocks.
They respect each other carnally.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so, like, and then I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna see, and there's like whole things, and like they start out like normal, but like it's also really dumb to read a book about like
car racing,
and he went faster than him.
Yeah.
And then he pulled away. Oh, and then the other guy got a little faster than him.
That's one of those.
And then all of a sudden it's like, and then Takumi looked in Ryosuke's eyes, and I'm like, oh, there it is.
That's always what's so interesting because like I full disclosure, I grew up like I actually read fan fiction as a kid.
You still read fan fiction?
Yeah, I still do this.
Did you write fan fiction?
No, I've never written it.
I wrote fan fiction about people that I knew in real life, and then I would show it to them. And that's real. Like,
I was gonna say that's
real.
worse, but I feel like you
grab
showed
me
it to them
a
just to be
beer?
like.
I wrote this one about these people that I knew, Colby and Caitlin, and they both worked at the Sonic in Spring Hill. And I gave Colby the one that I wrote, and then it just circulated around the Sonic. And then like 6 months later, I was hanging out in their parking lot waiting for him to get off, and then someone else comes outside, and I'm talking to Colby, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's BJ." I'm like, "Yeah, how do you know who I am?" And they're like, "We read the thing." I was like, "Oh, did you like it?" And they're like, "Yeah, it was good." So my audience is just people that work at Sonic with people I know because I wrote porn about them.
It
was graphic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very.
I thankfully haven't gotten too into like the graphic side of fan fiction, which shortens the list of things that I read considerably.
Yeah, it's like a Library of Alexandria, and you're stuck in like the restricted section, which is just normal shit.
Yeah, no, like it sucks because I'll be going through and I'm like, no, definitely not.
It's like the opposite of Pornhub, where you're on like page 19 and you're trying to find something that doesn't turn you on.
Yeah. Dude, no, but it sucks because like anything that I've read fan fiction about, you find the one where it's like, oh, it's like a nice thing, just like a good story that's like, oh, this happens after the books or after the thing. Cool, I like that. Or like this is a what if scenario, and you have to scroll through mountains of.
But then it's like,
I love these
what
two
if they
fucking
were gay?
Yeah, it's and some
that's the what if.
That's the real what if.
The funniest ones are always when I've opened somewhere, I'm like, what the fuck? Like there's some like you'll read like. I was scrolling like it was when I was into like Naruto as a kid. I was just scrolling through like nope, and I go, wait, who's that character? And you look up and like, wait, why is Naruto banging this obscure ass character he met in a movie once?
Yep.
And it didn't even have a name. Like they literally have like the tag or whatever is literally like the character from this. Like it's some shit like that. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like Ninja 38C.
Yeah, like straight up, it doesn't matter.
Soldier B.
It can be anybody. Like for Initial D, it could be Takumi and one guy he looked at weird, who is racing with, and it'd be like someone could go, that was a sexual look right there. That's all it takes. Yeah.
I bet there's some real degenerate stuff about Kenta and Keisuke.
I mean,
Guaranteed.
I think they wrote Kenta in hoping that would happen, but then everybody was like, no, it's fucking Takumi and Keisuke and his brother.
And
all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but it was like an hour-long, like iceberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Iceberg video about Initial D, and it just talked a lot about the manga, which I didn't know a lot about. And then they're like, yeah, there's like a panel that's like a famous panel in the manga where like Natsuki's just like is butt naked, and it just shows her like bare ass with a towel over her. I'm like, what the hell? And then it's
the Legend movies kept that spirit.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, to be fair, they there's a lot of manga, like even Bleach has like moments where it's like in the anime they would never show it, but like there's nudity, like there's like harsh blood. It's like manga tends to have less censors than anime. Like you can get away with a lot of shit in a manga that's aimed at teenage boys that you couldn't get away with in an anime aimed at teenage boys. I mean, shit, in Naruto, people get cut in half and, like, stabbed to the point where they're like, oh, they're eviscerated. The anime shows them getting knocked back and there's slight blood smeared.
Yeah, there's a little bit of blood coming out of their mouth.
Yeah, but, like, yeah, in all those. So, yeah, Natsuki having her ass out is not the weirdest. Is, like, definitely not the weirdest
But it's weird that they didn't put that in and they showed Mako's full titties jiggling around and her ass bouncing around in the shower. And then nobody ever talked about that.
It definitely had to. Well, it definitely had to be like a thing of like, all right, Initial D season 1 and 2 were definitely like, where this is like the standard age rating.
And then I guess movie 3, they were like,
fuck it.
All right, we might not get to do this again. Let's show some titties.
And then what? Movie 4 or what's 4? Is it a season?
4 is a season.
So they do a season for 4. Is there any sexual content in that one?
No, because everybody in that season gets...
No, it's... Well, nothing sexual, but there is, like, love interest.
Well, yeah.
Not for Takumi, but just for...
Keisuke.
Keisuke. Okay. And that's the thing. I feel like, yeah, for that, it's just... Yeah, because Initial D has been, like, very much like, oh, we might get a season. Oh, we're probably screwed now. Oh, well, we got a movie out of this. Let's try this. And then somebody, I guess, was like, yeah, that Initial D shit's pretty cool. You want to do, like, 3 movies about him and, like, just remake it? Like, yeah, cool, why not? And then apparently, I'm assuming those did well enough because we got MF Ghost after it.
Yeah.
But I think MF Ghost is actually a product of the Legends movies.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Is like they did the Legends movies, and because they probably did well enough, because the Legends movies came out in the 2010s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was probably like heavily nostalgia heavy of like, y'all remember that Initial D shit?
Well, I mean, they do talk about. I think it's like the first episode where he's racing in the new 8.6, and then someone is watching the race and they're like, holy shit, he's doing Takumi's 4-wheel drift. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Legend was a thing because they did the same thing with Code
I will
Geass.
say though, like I mean, I've talked about this before about anime feeling grounded. Like, there is things that I'm like, this is not real in Initial D, obviously, but there is a lot in Initial D that I'm like, no one has powers, you know. It's weird that the cops are never around. I mean, other than that, like,
from everything I've seen, that is realistic for the places that they race in. Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, it's grounded. It feels real. Well, and then they go to an MF Ghost and they're like, in the far future, where all gas-powered cars are illegal. So now we just watch them race, and we also have drones following them, and also this like literal base model, like 180 horsepower, you know, Scion, Toyota, and Subaru, because it's all the same car, just different people, you know, selling it,
different badges.
Is like beating, you know, Lamborghinis on a racetrack, not on like a hill.
Yeah, not a downhill. Not a downhill. You have inertia and things to think about.
Yeah, not where it's like you don't have long enough straightaways to pass. Nope. And I'm like, so we have gone into the ungrounded, false reality.
Yeah, I mean that's something that I think a lot of, because the thing with any story, and it initially gets it a little easier because it's in real life. Like any story, you kind of have to set a rule set for your world and stick by it. Mm-hmm. That's why I think a lot of shonen anime and stuff like that kind of gets like, all right, because after a while, like the power creep hits in of like, well, actually, here's this new thing.
Actually, Ichigo had this third power the whole time.
Dude, no, trust me, I'm well aware of
I
how
will
bad
say,
that gets.
What's fun about Initial D is the longer it's gone on, it's less about the cars, but more about the people that are harder for him to beat
are the ones with technique
and more experience. So it's like old the whole dudes, and you're like, oh, the old dudes are the hard.
They know.
Yeah, instead of like the rich kid with a brand new car.
Well, that's what was so interesting in season 1 about Takashi, is like, oh, he's got the fucking R32. There's no way, and then he ends up beating him anyway because Takashi has dog shit technique.
It's true.
Speaking of Initial D, I started Wangan Midnight.
What?
It's another race anime.
Okay.
And it's basically like highway racing instead of drifting. But I've watched 5 episodes so far, and in every single one of those episodes, there's been a car crash. The first 2 episodes, he crashes the main character's car. He crashes it. 3rd episode, a girl steals his car and crashes it. 4th episode, she crashes her car, and then at the end of that, this other car that they're racing against crashes, and then
not very good at handling cars, then, huh?
Yeah, not very much. But the thing about that one versus Initial D is it's all like, oh, this car is so powerful. It's like, it's not about the drivers. Their technique doesn't matter at all. I don't care about these people.
Yeah, it makes Initial D way more like fun to watch because you're like, oh yeah, Takami's able to beat them in this piece of shit car because he's really good.
And you care about Takami's life. Like, you see him go through all of his shit with his dad, his first girlfriend and everything, his friends. There's none of that in Wangan Midnight.
They make it cool because it's like, oh yeah, Takami, like it's, yeah, like everybody's like, oh dude, the 8-6, like that's from Initial D, blah, blah, blah. But you're like, no, but Takami is the reason I'm watching the show. Like he's the one behind the wheel, he's the one racing. His relationship with people, his rivalries with people, like that's and like seeing him like kind of, I actually like this racing thing. Like, this is kind of fun. Like, you see that evolve is way more interesting than just like, look at this super fast car. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, but I bought the faster car.
And I will say, it's like, when you do have, like, I guess, like, the biggest climax and, like, you know, or the biggest, what is it, like, when the protagonist meets, like, you know, the downfall, and then, you know, then there's the rise.
Oh, yeah, like the hero's journey?
Yeah. Is when the Emperor's. But what's so good about it is it's the first time that Takami really emotionally loses it, and then he loses because of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously they like tie it to him and the car together lose because he was emotionally just like, fuck, I hate Natsuki, blah, 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 that slut, blah. Right, and then he like just drives the 8-6 into, even though they've been like alluding that the 8-6
Wait,
is
what
just...
was I'm behind, I have not, so I haven't like watched Initial D with them. They've been watching it like together. I'll catch some straight. What happened with Natsuki that you were so pissed off?
So they've been like going out, and then
this is like season 2.
Then she kind of talks about like how
this is before they like split because she's going to college or whatever, right?
This is before that. Okay. We told you about the guy that she's like dating that's like 40 years old and has a Mercedes.
Yeah.
And like fucks her all the time. Takami is like just at the store buying a drink, and he sees her and him walking together, and she was breaking up with him, but all he hears is, "I'm so glad that you understand," and all this shit. So Takami gets super fucking pissed. He wasn't gonna race Kyoichi, the voice of All Might, because he's got a whole crew of dudes with fucking lancers, and they're just unbeatable. And he sees this happen, gets in the 8-6, does a fucking burnout in the middle of the street, rips off, and then he goes and he races Kyoichi. And because he's so mentally fucked up at that point, like, his engine was already pushing it, but he completely blows the engine and gets stuck on the side of the road.
But then we get one of the best scenes in all of Initial D, which is he's sitting on the side of the road. You know, he doesn't have a cell phone because, you know,
it's the 90s.
It's the 90s. And all of a sudden you see headlights, and at first I was like, oh, that might be Kyoichi or like somebody else. And then Bunta pulls up in a tow truck, and he was like, how did you know? And he's like, I just had a feeling. And then he picks him up, and then they have this like talk in the car, and he's like, I'm not mad. Like,
yeah, Takami starts like crying in the car, and he's like, I'm sorry that I like broke the 8-6.
And he's like, this is your car, and I can't believe I did this. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll work till I die every day at the tofu shop, like whatever you need. And he's like, it's not a big deal. Like, I knew that this day was gonna come. And he's like, oh no, but then he says also, like, since you've been a kid, I've been saving up money for like college.
Yeah.
And we'll just use that to repair, like, get a new engine. And you know, but that means like I'm gonna have to pull some of that, and then like you're gonna have to use some of the money that you made from the gas station. I'll use some of like, we're just gonna pool together all of our money, and then we'll co-own the 8-6 together. It's the sweetest thing of all time. Oh.
And then later on, Bunta gets the WRX, and he's like, the 8-6 is yours now.
Because I got this sick as shit car.
But the reason he bought the WRX in the first place was so that Takumi could experience driving both of them to understand the difference between different cars and how power works and all that shit. So the father-son relationship is one of the core things in Initial D for me.
I don't know if this has happened yet or if it will happen in the manga, because I don't know, but like it, at least so far, it's really nice that Bunta doesn't die for Takumi's character growth. Like, it's just like, yeah, his dad's there, cool. Like,
I don't know what I'd do if that
him,
happened.
yeah.
Dude, what's so interesting is I feel like it's definitely a trope in a lot of mangas to like be fatherless, but they're like, we're switching it. He's motherless.
It's also a trope for women in real life. Bitch.
But like, I don't know. I could name so many mangas where like the father is absent. You know, like 2, it's like
Dragon Ball, Naruto.
Yeah.
Fucking
My Hero.
My Hero.
He does have
sure.
a dad, right? But he's just never there.
Yeah, he's just always away on business constantly. You never even see him in the manga.
I was gonna say that was one of the things that made like Bleach slightly different.
Because the dad's the goddamn goat.
Yeah, because the dad is there, is active in his life, has the best.
Ichigo's dad.
Ichigo's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there. Also, early in the manga, has one of the best monologues about like about the death of the mom. Like, they have like a really cool moment where like they talk in front of her grave, and it's like so cool. But then like, yeah, later you find out, oh yeah, by the way, he was a Soul Reaper and was like a captain level shit, and he's like a badass, and you're like, this is the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what happens with Bunta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Bunta's always been him though.
Yeah. Bunta's always been a badass. That scene you show me where he's lighting a cigarette on a turn
In the mid-drift.
Yeah, it's like, holy fuck.
And Tachibana's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Homie is literally about to like shit himself.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so good. We recently saw one where he lets Tachibana drive the WRX and he's just smoking cigs in the passenger seat.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah. So we finished stage 4. We were on to stage 5, but next we get to watch
Extra Stage 2.
which is maybe we get some resolution between a man and a woman.
Yes, finally.
Any resolution.
Any good relationship, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Because so far, season 4 has just been heartbreak.
Who is it in Extra Stage 2? Is it?
It's Ikatani.
Ikatani and Mako again.
Good.
Yeah, I know.
Because stage 4 is a lot of him being like, fuck, why does Itsuki get to talk to these girls? I wish Mako was
Also,
here.
there's barely any Ikatani and Itsuki in stage 4.
They're in like 3 episodes.
They're still just working
at the gas station.
They're working through it.
They're working through it. Yeah. But the shit with Itsuki happened in stage 4. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, got his heart broken again.
Yeah.
The one with Keisuke is the most mature that's happened, I think. He meets this girl that drives another RX-7, and they race each other, and she's like, oh my god, he's really good, and he's like really nice to me. I mean, not at first, but like she gets really obsessed with him, so
Really?
she shows up to every Project D race, and the one where those guys were like gonna break their legs and everything, they put an oil slick on the road, and Keisuke hit it and fucked
During
up his
a practice
whole
run.
Yeah, and he fucked up his whole car. So they were like, shit, we need to like find a replacement. The 8.6 can't run the uphill. And she shows up to watch the race, and Keisuke's like, oh my god, I'm so happy you're here. Please, can I drive your car for this race? And so he does and wins. And the whole thing is like, they start going out, they go on a date, and he's like, listen, like, I really like you, but I can't have a relationship and Project D at the same time because it's going to split my focus, it's going to fuck me up during races,
And you're going to resent me.
yeah, and it's not going to be fair to you, it's not going to be fair to me. We just can't do this right now. And it's
Damn.
really mature.
I was gonna say, that's not what I expect out of anime. Like it's like,
That's not what I'd expect out of Keisuke.
fair that too.
Because he does make it a point, but it's not the primary point for him. That's like, I won't be able to focus on drifting. Like, it's more like, you're going to resent me because I'm trying to like do this thing that I'm passionate about.
This is my
season.
passion. Yeah.
Yeah, for a season, this is what like I'm into, and I want to give it my all, and so I can respect my own like self and my own goals, but I also want to respect you and not give you like not 100%. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, honestly, if most people had that mentality, there'd be way less abuse in households.
Or divorce,
yeah.
Because like seriously, like that alone is like one of the most mature things I've heard. Not even just from an anime, any story that has like drama and shit. You would never see that shit in any like high school drama, supernatural, whatever the fuck. Like, just no. You know what? Like, I love you, but like I'm very passionate about this. I cannot split it, and it wouldn't be fair to you. Like, the fact that it's like it wouldn't be fair to you is the big kicker. Where I'm like, oh wow, you thought this through. This isn't something you were like, oh, yeah. That's actually like really cool.
Because then it's like what's so mature about that is it leaves like maybe after I'm this we can get back, like come back and talk about it.
Leaves the door open.
But the thing is though, if they try to go for it and then she ended up resenting him, then there's no second chance for a relationship.
Yeah.
So
like leaving the door open to be like, hey, let's both kind of like I want to focus here. It's not fair to you. Like if you're still down, like cool. But like if not. No, no hatred, no nothing. It's just like cool, because that yeah, I like that. Initial D, every time you've got, and the things I've seen, handles like kind of emotional stuff really well. Like actually, like in like believable ways. Like when people are angry and like pissed, you can understandably see why. Like there's some pettiness, sure, but that's also part of like human emotion, but
it's also a story of them like growing up and graduating high school and becoming like adults, so it fits very well.
Yeah, it's good anime. You
should go watch it.
Speaking of good anime, Chainsaw Man's finally getting a Blu-ray this October.
That's about goddamn time.
Yeah. I hate Viz Media's like just let's wait like 3 years, but They are doing a big deluxe edition that comes with the entire soundtrack on vinyl. That's pretty dope. I would like to have that. So you get like the Blu-ray case. It's like a special edition one, and then I think it's two vinyls that you get for the soundtrack. Hell yeah! So
last night,
Luke finished Space Marine 2.
Luke finished Space Marine 2.
Yeah, it was you, me, and Cody, right?
Yeah. Now we've all done it.
Sure have.
Campaign.
The definitely the holding the standard and just fighting. Very staged, obviously, but like it was still hype as fuck.
Oh yeah, and then Lord Calgar just shows up as him.
Yeah, wrecking the budget of the game entirely with that CGI cutscene.
Yeah, just shows up as him.
They were like one step away from him and Titus doing the Predator handshake.
Yeah, 100%.
He would have crushed Titus's hand with those giant power gloves with fucking machine gun turrets. Like stapled onto it.
It's I mean he's like really cool. Calgar is, again, like there was a reason that he was chapter master while Guilliman was in a coma.
Presumed dead.
Yeah, presumed dead, and he's just him. He's just that guy that's insanely powerful and really cool dude.
I love the bit after the boss fight where you're like walking through the dark void of like thing, and he's just there fighting. Yeah, like it's just dude's been fighting the whole time, and then immediately when Titus it's like Lord Calgar, it's like tell me what the fuck you said to me on the comms. It's like what? If you don't fucking tell me, I'll shoot you like the imposter you are. Yeah, and it's like I was like, oh, this guy, he's that guy. Yeah, like no questions. He's like, fuck it. Who are you?
Yeah, prove that
it.
You're real.
Yeah, it's fucking what a guy.
But my favorite part was that when he was like, when I learned what they happened to like when they put you in the Inquisition, like
I was fucking pissed.
He was pissed, and like he's just been like, I've been trying to get to you for the like 200 years.
And then there was Leandros that I've called since the fucking beginning.
That's why Matt was so quiet when you said that.
Yeah, because I was like, I bet it's him. And over the course of the game, I'm like, he's so like, because I was saying, and Matt, you tried to get me off the scent, like, well, no, that's the chaplain's job, but I'm like, he is so adamant about, if one speck of heresy, I swear to God, like, I'm like, you care too much.
Calgar
about...
calls it. He says that like, it should have been evident to everybody that
nothing would shake your devotion.
Yes, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's why Calgar picked him as to be the second company captain.
And then it makes the Leandros reveal even better because you're like, okay, so if Calgar's over here, what's his deal? And you're like, well, because it's Leandros being like, I know you got some shit, and I'm gonna fucking watch you like a hawk. If I see any instance, you're fucked. And I'm like, God, you slimy piece of shit.
Yeah.
But no, I that was cool. I loved just Titus is a great character. Like honestly, and then the Gadriel and Chiron like kind of brotherhood was really good. I like that they didn't do the tease of like, you might betray him, but then like they figure out it's like, no, he's, it's different. Like the finding the like the witch lady or whatever to set the message, be like, oh, she was an agent of chaos, and Chiron knowing was cool.
Yeah, well, because so there's a whole thing about his home planet, which was essentially when he was a kid, their home planet got invaded by the Thousand Suns and Chaos. By Tazich, which is what the Thousand Suns are like, his forces, and so he just grew up as a little boy having like that all over the place, and then was recruited, and so that's why he was like, I knew, like, I know the signs,
like I can smell chaos from a mile away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill chaos.
And then at the end, when like he's about to get on the
consolable.
Thunderhawk, and he looks back at the boys, and they're like. And he does the
yeah. I definitely want to know.
I'm gonna miss you. That sure was a fun adventure.
I definitely want to know where because so far, at least according to their first 4 seasons, there's no expansion to story wise, at least. And I'm really hoping that once they rock that, we get a story expansion, because like I feel like they could do it. I know we're getting expansions to the battle barge. Like there's gonna be a sparring arena, a whole nother section later, which they said nothing about.
Private PvP matches,
private PvP and PvE as well.
That's cool.
So they also announced a new enemy type, and a lot of people took that as like a new
a new faction. It's just a new Tyranid.
Necron.
It's just a new Tyranid. But everyone was like really sad about that, and I was like, obviously I want as much content out of Space Marine 2, but I'm like, at the same time, like I'm already like pretty satiated by everything that they've given me, and it's like, no, let me wait till the next game to when I can fight the Necrons.
I just hope that the next game comes faster than this one did.
Well, this one apparently it's gone through multiple developers before it finally hit Saber. Because I forget who did.
Saber did a great job.
They did, and 2 million in 2 days.
Yep.
There were parts of that game that really felt like Metal Gear Rising. I mean, the cutscene where they have the jump hacks, that was crazy.
It was that cutscene and like the one with Calgar. I was like, man, I cannot wait for that Warhammer secret level episode. That's just gonna be hype as fuck. And me and Cody were talking. I was like, honestly, just fucking do this for the Amazon stuff. Fuck live action, because you're gonna have to spend arguably more budget to like CGI these tall 8-foot tall motherfuckers.
I don't know, man. Full CG. Well,
it's still cheaper because case in point, like especially if you want it to be good looking CG, like to do like
if you pay the artists.
Yeah, but doing just CGI show or movie is gonna be fine and easy. I mean, not easy, but like look how many they.
Fans are doing it for free.
Yeah,
and it looks amazing. So
that's true.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like if you can get it
free, like, $99.
Like I feel like it'd be way easier to do than have to like, okay, we have to outsource to a CGI studio to make sure the Necrons look good, or make sure that, because like that's the thing, you do Tyranids, it's like those are going to be CGI. Like you're not doing practical Tyranids, so there you go. There's like $1 million of budgets there to make them look good. And then if you want to do the orcs, you're not fucking doing that practical either. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like Warhammer already kind of has like not a cartoony feel, but it definitely has like a stylized look to it that I don't know if live action would do it justice.
Yeah, sets alone would be crazy to try to build.
Like if you start it small and do something like simple Space Marines versus Chaos,
but there is
maybe
something that if they did it right, even if it's one scene, like obviously, I'm with you. I want it to be done well, and I think, obviously I watch anime, so I know how much the media form of anime is better at storytelling certain things.
Shit. So The Witcher, we've like loved Nightmare of the Wolf, and then now we're looking at that trailer for Sirens of the Deep. We're like, fucking just do the fucking the books in this.
Do all of that.
Yeah.
No, so like obviously I'm pro that, but even if I just got like one like scene of really well done CGI heavy of Henry Cavill
in a Space Marine
in a power armor suit would, oh my gosh.
Do we know if he's gonna star in it, or is he gonna first just like
he's got to do something
executive
in there.
Produce it?
There's no way he's just producing.
Well, I mean, he'd want to be in it obviously, but like I think because that's the thing. Who would you'd obviously have to have someone would have to be the Emperor or model them off somebody, because like imagine you had like because think about it, you have the carrion throne, like the husk of the emperor, but you base it off an actor so you can do something in the heresy later of like, oh yeah, that actor's gonna be the emperor in the Horus Heresy stuff, or like whatever.
Is it taking place in the Horus Heresy?
There's nothing we know about it. All we know is that there's going to be, it's Warhammer. So what that means is anything, but I would be shocked. I mean,
you just need to get just huge dudes.
Yeah, just big dudes.
I feel like the easiest,
big bros.
I think the easiest thing to do is start simple with like, here's Space Marines. Like we're gonna start with that, and from there on move out. Like start teasing like, oh yeah, like our chapter was under Guilliman, or our chapter under who's Rogel Dorn, or like whatever. You mention all these Primarchs, set up the mystery of like, oh yeah, they talk about the heresy. And then like imagine like Warhammer does really well. They have like a couple shows out, movies, whatever. Like they've built up a universe, and then they finally go like, yeah, we're gonna do the Horus Heresy as like a whole series.
Sure.
I think the Horus Heresy would do well as a animated series because of one, how long it is, but also how much shit is in there of like, you're dealing with chaos stuff, you're dealing with so many different planets, and like the budget to do that live action would be astronomical.
Yeah.
Especially if there's
but to be fair, we also have astronomical budgets already in TV shows.
Yeah, but like look how much that like works though. You know what I mean? Like think about it.
Everyone's chasing the Game of Thrones
but like
success.
but here's the thing,
HBO, and they're failing.
But Game of Thrones wasn't that expensive in the grand scheme, especially for nowadays. Like fucking. I
mean, they didn't use any CGI until like season 3.
And even then, the stuff that they did was like so simple. Like it was like blink if you miss it CGI, because even the fucking like giants they had was just, they shot a dude in the foreground and then
they did that like Lord of the Rings forced perspective shit.
And so like the giants, and to be fair, they did like film them in certain areas where it's like, okay, we're gonna have people on top of them. That was CGI, but when you mix CGI and like live action, you don't see it as much.
Yeah.
So it's, or at least if it's like hidden CGI like that.
I mean that's half true, but it definitely in Game of Thrones it's more so because you're not having people in armor they have lasers coming out of their chest.
Right.
It's talking about you, Avengers.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, okay, so dude, all right, Battle of the Bastards, right? Great fucking thing.
Amazing.
That episode alone was $11 million.
That's nothing.
Money well spent.
Yeah, comparatively to every show that's trying to copy Game of Thrones, and yet Battle of the Bastards looks better than all these fucking shows. Like
it's the best on-screen battle I've ever seen.
Like and that's the thing is like, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at the fucking problem, because like, yeah, like that was like $12 million to do that one army scene, like that one fight. And then like, yeah, you look at a show like The Acolyte costing almost $200 million to make a whole fucking show, and you're like, where did that money go?
Squid Games.
Yeah. And then you
when
look.
Is season 2 coming out?
I saw a poster for it.
That's what I was like. I've seen promotional like stuff.
Netflix is about to unveil it.
I'll tell you what though, they took way too fucking long. They should have strike while the iron was hot.
Well, the problem wasn't even Netflix, it was the writer, because apparently they were like, they wrote it as a 1-season thing, and then Netflix was like, no more, and he was like, I don't have more, but okay. And then like set to write it, and I guess was too much of a perfectionist to be like, no, it's not good. No, it's not good enough. So,
and then he started writing this other thing that was like, oh, I'm gonna satirize the success of my own show.
I think now that one was just Netflix being like, all right, he's taking too long with season 2. Let's do Squid Game in real life.
But he is writing a show about a fictional show about a writer that makes a successful thing.
Oh, really?
This was like pretty soon after season 1 blew up.
Okay.
He talked about that.
I mean, hey, if it's good, it's good. I don't care. Like, I want good written stories, but like, I'm also with you on like, just you should have put season 2 out a little sooner.
I agree.
They're gonna be announcing a lot of stuff this week for Netflix because it's their like Geeked Week where it's all the nerd shit.
So maybe Devil May Cry trailer.
That was on the poster. Was just the words. The neon sign of Devil May Cry was in the poster.
Let's go.
Squid Game, Arcane, and Witcher.
Arcane is still going.
It's only 1 season. The second season and the final season is out this soon.
No, there's 2 seasons.
We're about to get season 2.
Oh, because they cut season 1 in half.
Yeah, part 1, part 2 thing. Yeah, and then season 2 is gonna be, which you still need to watch. Arcane's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 2 is supposed to be at the very least the final part in this saga. I think people want them to continue, but like with different characters and different storylines. But the Jinx and V stuff is that they'll 2 seasons and it's done. So.
Yeah, because they've already added Echo and who's the old guy?
Not Piltover. That's the city.
You know the tiny guy that's all furry.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kid.
Oh, I know this. He's in Tails Gets Trolled.
With the monocle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a.
Isn't it Timo?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silco? No.
No, I don't.
That was the dad. No,
Silco's not a.
He's not like a hero in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that this is gonna be the finale. Like like they're only doing 2 seasons of the Jinx stuff, and then after that it could be completely different. But they've been doing a lot of League of Legends stuff outside of League. Like there's the fighting game.
Done a bunch of spin-offs.
The fighting game's about to drop. They had that the Ruined King. It was apparently like a turn-based RPG that I just actually still want to play. I'm kind of cool with them doing that because that's the thing. I would not get into League any other way except, all right, we'll do stuff that's not League.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. Not multiplayer, toxic ass MOBA games. Sick. I'm in.
Speaking of which, when is that DVD spin-off coming out?
Is it? I think October.
A League spinoff?
No,
Dead
the
by
DVD
Daylight,
one.
the Castle
Dead by
Stone or
Daylight,
whatever,
yeah.
Frank Stone or something. That's soon. I'm pretty sure it's like very soon.
Hell yeah, I hope so.
Because
I would like to play that for like Halloween.
Me and my buddy, we were on Discord, and Tanner, this is who I'm talking about. He listens occasionally. We were talking about like all the games coming out this year, and that it was pretty much like of worth noting at least. We're like, oh, which ones are probably going to be in the Game Awards conversation? I was like, probably the Frank Stone as like a horror game.
Definitely.
Dragon Age we're going to mention because it's just
Shadow of the
Dragon
Erd
Age.
Tree.
Shadow of the Erd Tree for sure. Assassin's Creed will show up somewhere. Like, and this is at least for stuff that like was coming out. Indiana Jones is probably gonna get something. If the narrative's good, it will 100% win narrative. Like I get to see that happening.
I think there's a realistic possibility that Sonic X Shadow wins Best Family Game.
100%, yeah. Cool, because what else really came out this year?
Yeah, Nintendo's
kind of put.
not been doing much.
Did Wonder come out this year?
Wonder came out last year and it won.
Yeah,
but Paper Mario came out, but it's a remake, so we'll.
It says Sonic Shadow Generations is also kind of a remake.
Yeah, but like it has more new content than Paper Mario.
Yeah, but I feel like Paper Mario's got the fucking like.
It's Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, so it's one of those two for sure. Now I was also talking because he was saying like you think Space Marine wins Game of the Year, and I was like no shot. It'll get nominated for sure, I think, but like all the fucking industry people who get more of a vote than we do are like the game's fine. And that's all they've said about it. Whereas they're dick-sucking Astrobot like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Astrobot will actually probably win Family Game.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I guarantee you the Game of the Year conversation will come down to Final Fantasy or Astrobot because both those games...
Not Wukong?
No. Again, it's the industry people. They didn't give a fuck about Wukong.
Yeah, From Software didn't make that Souls-like, so they don't give a shit
like,
about
that's the thing.
That's
like it's the problem with the Game Awards is that they have a committee who... come up with the nominations, which is like IGN, GameSpot, Kind of Funny, Easy Alice, all these like people who review games, and then they get to vote as well, but their vote counts for way more than our vote.
And they're all being controlled by the writing of Alan Wake.
Yep. And that is actually a good example. Like, well,
Alan Wake comes out. Another random Alan Wake comes out the day before.
I mean, the DLC. The DLC came out this year, so.
Yep. Alan Wake sweep again.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things where like I love Alan Wake, but even I like there's moments where I'm like this was better in this area. Like the art, like what was it, art direction?
Yeah, art direction.
No shot. I love Alan Wake. No fucking
I'm
shot.
I'm trying to remember what it was up against.
Hi-Fi Rush was up against. It was up against Hi-Fi Rush and Liza P, I think.
Oh yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, Alan. Like I love Alan Wake. I definitely think it earned a narrative. Fucking did not deserve the art direction one. That was definitely like the industry loves Sam Lake, and because he's legitimately.
What is the one that we thought was gonna win?
For
art direction,
Hi-Fi or Liza P, I think, because it was. I think those were the two.
Yeah, I mean, I think I remember casting my vote for Liza P before I had played it.
I went with Hi-Fi Rush because I was like that. The whole game is just like comic book like art style. Like it literally was like all that. And if Final Fantasy hadn't come out, I would have gone for that for music direction. But I went with Final Fantasy, which that did win. Thank God.
Final Fantasy always rips.
What's the one that Armored Core won? Because at least
action game.
Action game.
Yeah,
deserved.
100%.
Can't wait for that Amazon fucking...
the secret level episode for that one.
Yeah.
Which apparently is Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
It's going to rip so hard.
Yeah. But we were
it's a tabletop Armored Core.
Apparently going to be
coming out.
It's being like crowdfunded.
You know we're playing it. God damn it! Don't make that face.
No, no. I made the face that it was not even out and it's already in the Amazon.
But it's not all tabletop.
Armored Core. Yeah,
I thought it's all tabletop.
No, it's all gaming.
Yeah, I think there's
there's an entire PlayStation section of just like their IPs duking it out in a battle royale thing apparently, because that's why Kratos was standing in like London. Like it's just gaming.
And they're doing
nerd
Mega
shit.
Man.
Yeah, Mega Man's
if there
in
was
there.
a Mega Man tabletop RPG, I don't know what I'd do.
That'd actually be so sick though.
It'd be so weird.
But like think about all the characters you could play as though.
Mega Man walks up to you.
Mega Man walks up to you and says, or Roll walks up to you and says, Mega Man, Mega Man, Mega Man.
Because think about all, like it would actually be kind of cool where it's like all your fights are
you
against
get
like,
to design
masters.
8 different robot masters and give them personalities.
That'd be so sick. No, but yeah, 100%. The game of the year conversation will be down to Astrobot and Final Fantasy, because even IGN put out a poll where they were like, we're letting all of the like viewers and listeners vote on game of the year. The top 2 were so far Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Astrobot by the widest margins.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm hating hard. I wish I could play Astrobot so bad.
I think that and Black Myth are the next games I'm buying to like play through, and Astrobot should be like simple.
We loved Black Myth.
It looks awesome. It seems like my type of game, so
yeah.
I'm definitely gonna like fuck with it. But Astrobot looks super fun.
Somebody sent me an email about a
Donkey has been putting out a video almost every day for the past 5 days.
He did one for Astro. He did one for Space Marine recently.
Yeah.
He did one for Outlaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today he uploaded one on Pickles.
Nice.
And it was hysterical.
Donkey's
hysterical.
That's the thing about Donkey is he seems.
I love it when he does non-gaming ones. Did you see the one about the bridge and the tunnel?
No, I did not.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Notria comes out in 1 day and 8 hours.
Oh shit.
What's that one?
That's the one that's Italian Souls-like.
The demo was really good, honestly. I'm definitely getting that one. I hope I'm debating though, because if it runs well on Steam Deck, I think we'll get it there. Mm-hmm. But if not, I already have the demo on PlayStation, so might as well get the fucking other one. But yeah, dude, this year's been some good games this year, honestly. I think obviously we've been kind of spoiled. Like last year was just fucking stacked, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But like we got some good games this year, and still some interesting ones coming out. So I'm kind of hyped for some stuff. There was a while.
I mean,
where, like,
last year would have been good games.
You always say Baldur's Gate hit. We had Phantom Liberty's DLC expansion hit as well.
Yeah. Starfield.
I still count that because I fucking liked it for what I played of it. I got like 30 hours into it.
Yeah,
I think Starfield is kind of the new like, what's the name of that Square Enix game on the 3DS? Bravely Default. Because to fully complete Starfield, you have to play through the game so many times.
Yeah.
And if you play it once, you're like, oh, I liked it. And then if you do everything that it requires you to do, you're like, I fucking hate this game.
Yeah. Because I didn't even get to the like New Game Plus bit, but I got enough where I was like, I like this game. And I do want to go back and play because the new DLC seems to be like kind of like Far Harbor for Fallout 4. And like Nuka World, where it's being written by the DLC teams who've written some of the best shit they've ever done.
Nuka World is so peak.
I love Nuka World.
I like Far Harbor a little bit more.
I mean, they're both great. Far Harbor is fucking amazing. I love it. But Nuka World was just like
I also
the little
like Far
slice of New
Harbor.
Vegas that I hadn't gotten in a while.
My
that
favorite
was like,
part of Far Harbor though was the fact that it gives you the largest area to build a base.
Yeah.
On that beachhead one, it is huge. Like even more than the movie theater, the drive-in theater. And so I was like, yes, big.
I like building at the castle.
Oh, that one's always fun.
Castle.
Yeah.
But the problem is though, is like I always set up crops, and that takes up a lot
of space.
And so then I'm just cramming people into like the rooms at the castle.
That's why you just need to build up.
That's true.
No, I'm excited for the Starfield DLC because it's
the Red Rocket gas station. That one.
Mine is like a 6-story tower.
Yeah, that mine too. For some reason, that was always the one that's like straight up.
Red Rocket really rocks.
That I honestly like. I have my problem with Fallout 4, but I actually really still enjoy it.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, and that's kind of my same issue with Starfield. I was like, I have problems with it, but like, I don't know. There's that just thing Bethesda does like decently well that I just fuck with.
But Fallout 4 is better than Starfield.
I agree.
Yeah. But that doesn't discount Starfield to me. I was like, I still like it. Like, to me,
Sure.
like...
I can't wait for them to take the technology from Starfield and put it into a Fallout game. That's going to be amazing.
The problem is, it's going to be when we're fucking 80.
Yeah, true.
I still...
Fucking Elder Scrolls.
So what
I
is
still
in like Bethesda games in either IP, Elder Scrolls or Fallout? What is the shortest amount of time that we've gotten between a game?
3 in New Vegas, I think.
Yeah, which that was giving it to Obsidian, though. And Obsidian had 18 months to do it. Or they no. To be fair, they gave themselves 18. There's a whole thing where Bethesda like fucked them over and was like, oh, you only have. They were like, no. The Obsidian was like, we can do it. And then there was this thing of you get your bonuses if you get a certain review score, and then
10s across the board, baby.
Well, so they had to get past like an 8.5, and they got an 8.4.
Oh, that's gay.
Yeah, and apparently,
looking back, what would you give Fallout New Vegas? Leave it in the comments.
Fucking 10. But like, apparently, this is where people don't know. But apparently, Todd Howard and they were like, you can still have the fucking bonus. Like, but like Obsidian were like kind of petty, like we didn't prove ourselves.
Yeah, they roll up with their big fucking ripped chest and their NCR veteran ranger, and they're like, no, we didn't earn it.
Yeah, like that. But then whoever you ask is like, it's different every time. But like Josh Sawyer, who's like the head of them, said like, but this has been nothing but great to us. Like, I don't see where the animosity comes from. And it's like, all right, cool. I'll trust that guy over random internet guys saying, I actually heard fucking no.
Yeah.
So
my uncle works for Nintendo, and he said
Bethesda.
My uncle is Reggie.
Yeah. Could you imagine though actually being able to say that?
Scott had a goddamn field day when Doug Bowser took over.
I bet.
Our buddy Scott Bowser.
But yeah, I don't know, dude. But yeah, it's weird because games have become so long to develop nowadays that it kind of sucks. Because like, yeah, you look at like Oblivion came out in like 2005. Fallout 3 was 2009, and then New Vegas was 2010, Skyrim 2011. It's like it was.
So I guess technically it would be between
3 and
New
Skyrim.
Vegas and Skyrim.
And that was.
But I'm saying within an IP.
Within an IP, so New Vegas to Skyrim, would be less than a year.
But within the same universe, he means.
Oh, so like okay, Fallout
3 to New Vegas.
3 to New Vegas was 2009 to 2010.
That's crazy.
And again, 2 different studios.
Yeah.
If you want to go by same studio, Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 was 2008 and 9. Fallout 4 was 2015.
There is something to be said about their output on the 360 though, because you have what's that one Elder Scrolls game? Oblivion, Skyrim,
Fallout
3 and New Vegas.
And then that's when they started buying up companies. So you got Rage from id Software, you got Dishonored, and Evil Within technically, and Wolfenstein all had 360.
Wait,
that's true.
Was 4 available on the previous gens?
No, it was only next gen.
Okay.
So Xbox One and PS4 and PC. But it was 2015 was when Fallout 4 dropped. So technically, if you want to be like, if you don't count New Vegas because it was a different studio, it was 2009 and 2015 was the longest.
Yeah, 2015 was a weird year. I graduated high school, and I remember coming home playing Fallout every day. And then after I graduated, I was very aimless, and I was going to college, and I hated it. And then the only thing I had to look forward to was Final Fantasy 15. And then here we are now.
And that also got delayed to the next year too.
Yeah, I was so goddamn angry when that happened.
I want to have somebody do like a full historical deep dive of verses 13 to 15, because like we only have so little to go off of. I need to know. Like, I want like a no-clip documentary.
I want Sakurai to be like, hey, Tetsuya Nomura, come over to my house, be on my YouTube channel, and tell me all about this.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my fucking gosh. The thing is, Nomura would never say that shit until he leaves Square. And even then, he probably won't say shit. Because
he's going to the goddamn grave
Did you
Square.
see...
They're going to have his ass in a hyperbolic chamber like Genova.
Did you see people were getting, like, kind of weirded out because people were like, they can't blame Nomura for 7 Remakes weird shit anymore? Because it was straight up told in interviews that Nomura is the one holding back everybody from doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Nomura, the guy who does Kingdom Hearts, was like, no, this is too weird. We have to stick to the original script.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Kingdom Hearts makes sense. You just don't want to invest the time into it to understand it.
Well, it's not just Nomura. It's also not just Nomura. Kingdom Hearts is Nomura, and I think Nojima.
Are you pointing at me?
And Nojima wrote most of the side stories more than Nomura did. So it's people, it's just that it's directed by Nomura most of the time.
But Nomura did write Coded.
Yeah, which is also a weird one.
Can't say much there.
It is. It definitely is. It's one of those series where I've definitely gotten to the point over the years that I'm like, yeah, just because it has the next number doesn't mean it means shit. Because like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy kind of hit me with that, where I'm like,
I mean, when you think about it, the fourth game in the series, they skipped like 320 different entries to get to that number.
Yeah. I hate that. I'm gonna be honest. Like, yeah. Speaking of shitty names for things, dude, are y'all gonna go see Attack on Titan, the final season, final chapter, extra battle?
No.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you haven't
I've seen one episode of Attack on Titan.
I'm not going to see anything. I'll wait till I can watch
on
it
Crunchyroll in a year and a half.
Yeah. That's just so funny to me that like
Can you grab me a beer?
They decided to do that where it's like, oh yeah, what do we call our last movie we're doing?
Attack on Titan, final part, final season, final episode, final second part.
For real this time, we mean it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna
final
3
mix
over 2.
Those are two different games.
I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest. None of the Kingdom Hearts, and this is 100% the thing of, if you play them, you get the bit. But like,
all I'll say is Dream Drop Distance fucking rules so hard that it didn't need a final mix.
I mean, yeah, it didn't get one. It just was off.
Didn't need one.
Yeah.
What's a final mix?
That's where they're like, oh, like we didn't have enough dev time to add in these like bosses that we wanted to add, and like all these keyblades and different mechanics and stuff like that.
So do they give it to you for free? Do you have to buy it?
Well, this is back in the PS2
this is a
era,
PS2 era. You
where
had
there
to
was
buy
no
a new
DLC,
game.
so you had to buy. Well, and to be fair, they were only in Japan. So in Japan, you got the final mixes. In the West, we just got the base games.
Until they came out on PS3, and then they were like, okay, in the collections, we're going to translate the final mix versions.
So yeah, so if you bought the collections for new hardware, you got the final mixes as a whole unit instead of paying for them separately.
Oh, okay.
Which made that like the best value for American Kingdom Hearts fans ever.
Which, to be fair, that's been the case for a lot of things. Pokemon did the same thing, where it's like, here's Diamond and Pearl. Now pay another $40 for Platinum because it's the better version.
Yeah.
Which nowadays would just be DLC, which they are doing, where it's like, oh yeah, here's Sword and Shield, and then here's a DLC for it. Oh, here's Scarlet and Violet, and here's DLC for it, which would have been the third game, but now it's this. But it's still the same fucking price.
I would rather have paid the $90 to have a complete game on launch, but
yeah,
you know, do you, I guess.
But they've all done that. Like Devil May Cry did that with the Devil May Cry Special Edition, where they're like, well, we can't add Virgil as DLC, so fuck it. Here's the game again, but this time you get Virgil as well.
And they did that 6 more times.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, it actually is kind of annoying, and I hate that I've done it every time. It's like, well, to be fair, Devil May Cry 3 Special was the only one that I bought first. I don't think I have. No, it's a lie. I found a copy of Devil May Cry 3 standard, like without the red lettering, like just standard case at McKay's for like $5. I was like, yeah, I'll get it for the collection. But yeah, I
still need to find Volume 1 of the Devil May Cry 3 manga.
Adi Shankar, the director of Devil May Cry, he has them. That's apparently why, like, he's like that big of a fan where he owns all that shit, and I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Damn. I have Volume 2.
Yeah, it's Tokyo Pop, the guys who did the Kingdom Hearts manga.
Totally defunct company.
Yeah.
Doesn't print anymore, and that series alone was a limited print, I think. But I saw Volume 1 at McKay's one time, and I was like $2 short from being able to buy it. And then I like came back on payday, and it was gone.
Ooh.
They have a lot of manga. I've actually found, so they had all of Kingdom Hearts 1, the 2 volumes of Kingdom Hearts 2, and Chain of Memories, just at McKay's.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it was Tokyo Pop, so it was, pre.
Yeah, before they did the collected editions.
I do want to buy those. I want to get, because apparently Yen Press was the one who had it. They lost their rights too.
Right, but they caught up to everything that had come out in Japan that never got printed here, which is good.
Yeah, and then they were doing 3, which they didn't end up finishing.
Yeah.
But
I've been trying to think. Well, I have next to on my nightstand the volumes of Chainsaw Man that you brought over, and because part of me has been wanting to reread Berserk, but I was like, I need to catch up to Chainsaw Man.
I need to read the new chapter today.
What I would like to do though, because I've been wanting to get into a new manga, and that I really want to do. What's the old man John Wick one that they're making an anime?
Sakamoto Days.
I really want to read Sakamoto Days.
The best way, I really recommend the Shonen Jump app. I've said it a billion times, but that is a really good way to find new manga.
Okay.
That's where I've caught up. Finally, because I guess after they were like, all right, we may have jumped the gun. This isn't rated mature, They jumped it down to T, and so now all of Dandadan is on the Shonen Jump app. And I'm like, thank fucking God.
Hell yeah.
I binged.
When is Dandadan coming out?
October. Apparently, it's in theaters. You can watch the first 3 episodes in theaters.
Like right now?
Either now or soon, which I wasn't going to do anyway, but like, because I don't want to watch the first 3 and then have to wait longer for episode 4. I was like, no, I'll watch them when they come out.
Oh, okay.
But Dandadan's great. Now that My Hero's ending and Jujutsu Kaisen's ending, brother. Well, the anime. Yeah. Those animes,
they need to change. I don't want them to follow the manga anymore. I want them to change the whole ending.
They're not going to, and because that seems to be a thing where they're now like really hyping up the fact that they're faithful readaptations. Because trust me, I want them to change a little bit in JJK too. But
Yuji doesn't need to be a homeless man.
That has never been a thing. You actually got me scared because I wasn't caught up when you had told me that, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Fuck, wait."
It's the same guy that wrote the one where Deku's working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Really?
It would honestly though, after because they literally just beat like Sukuna, and now the last 3 chapters are gonna be like, "All right, what happened now?" Like, and I'm gonna be honest, man.
Speaking of which, I found your next tattoo today while we were in the car.
Oh God.
It's a picture on someone's like ankle of Gojo licking Sukuna's titty, and Sukuna's like, "Oh,
yeah, okay,
yeah."
I do want to.
You like that, huh?
Yeah. Sure. I do want to get a Sukuna tattoo of some sort, though. I just don't know what.
Face tat. Do the Sukuna.
Yeah,
just do the Sukuna tats. Yeah. No. I want to do something though. I just don't know what.
You get bullied so bad.
Get bullied. No shit. Yeah.
Maybe like on your like thigh, you could have like Suka D's nuts.
Sukuna D's nuts.
Sukuna D's nuts.
No, I don't know. I want to get something because like Sukuna's been quickly like my favorite villain in manga just because he's so unhinged. And like you haven't gotten to it, but
he's
like
his
plan of like the thing of like, hey, when I tell you I get to take full control of your body for like a minute, that bit when it actually happens, I was like, holy fuck! And it's like awesome. It's like the coolest shit. And then they ended it and went, but who cares? So I think the ending is terrible for JJK, at least so far. Again, I doubt he's gonna fix it in 3 chapters, but
yeah, but I mean, there's no way that it does as much damage as the last chapter of My Hero.
Do you think Berserk's gonna end that badly?
Ain't no goddamn way, and if it does, someone needs to die.
There's no way because
somebody already has.
Yeah, someone already did.
Not for this.
Yeah.
I think Berserk, I don't think it'll end badly, but I definitely think people should put in like expectations of it's not going to end the way Mirai probably wanted it to end. And because of that, it might be different. Like, well, because again, it is. I mean,
he definitely told them.
Well, that's the thing.
They're following his plans meticulously.
Well, like the thing, having notes is going to be slightly different because you've said so far this last bit of Berserk has been more action heavy than the whole series seems to have been.
Well,
I'm wondering where
the first couple chapters after he died is because a big battle breaks out, and that makes sense. But since then, it gets back to like the character dialogue and like the political side of things, and I'm like, okay, this feels like Miura's writing.
Okay, because I wonder if it's gonna be as at some point because there is gonna be having notes about the work that you now have to adapt is definitely different than this is my story. So I'm in the process of like I think people should.
Yeah, but I think that it's not like and then at the end Guts works at a McDonald's and I think that's a clear thing that's not going to be written.
Yeah.
What was the ending to My Hero?
And it would be like and Guts gets to be with Casca.
They're all like pro heroes now, and he gets a suit, right?
The way it goes is like there's an 8-year time skip after his graduation, and he's just a teacher at the high school, doesn't have any powers, and he specifically makes mention that none of his friends talk to him or hang out with him anymore, and he's like the only person he has to talk to is Aizawa, his fucking teacher. And then he like goes to the All Might statue, and there's a kid there that's like, "Oh, my power's dog shit. Like, what do I do? You're Deku, right?" And he's like, "Yeah. Like, someone told me once that I could be a hero, and you can too." And it's like that rings hollow now because you're just a goddamn high school teacher with no friends.
I mean, the no friends part for sure, but to me, it's like he stopped Shigaraki. To me, that is like, yeah, he lost his powers or like whatever, but like to me, it's like it is a thing of he was a hero despite it. And now, to be fair, I still think like if his friends were still around him and treated him like a normal person, it would have not rang as hollow because it's like, no, because look at the people that he helped and that he saved and all this stuff. It's like, look at like what that sacrifice meant to them. Instead of we're gonna go completely silent on you for years, but it's because we're building you a cool suit. But like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but they also say that was mostly just Bakugo doing that.
So like, what was the excuse for everybody else? Is they were busy?
Yeah, they're busy doing hero work and humanitarian shit. And they show a couple of their stories.
But I mean, this is the thing that doesn't work for me if you have like social media or like email in your universe, because you can text people.
They have like holographic Iron Man phones too.
Sorry,
I text sometimes.
There you go. Yeah, sometimes.
He couldn't even bring himself to say it.
He couldn't defend himself completely.
The whole ending makes me think All Might had it right the first time, and Mirio should have been the main character.
I mean, shit.
Also, another thing that they don't mention. Eri definitely could have rewound him to when he had powers. Don't do that.
Ares
make him an Iron Man suit, I guess.
I'm gonna be honest. Ares' whole thing is like, fuck. It's the same thing with like J.K. Rowling and the Time Turner.
But only
the second. No.
She couldn't have because genetically he never had powers to begin with.
But it altered his DNA.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Ares' power is similar to where you're like, okay, yeah, wait. Why didn't you do this? And
because she literally does it to Mirio. She doesn't use it to save Aizawa's eye, leg, or arm either.
Which, her being a child and like scared and not understanding her powers, understandable. I can pass off Aizawa. Where it's
but she's gotten good enough where she can rewind Mirio to his peak condition.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. Yeah, that was definitely, that one is like, okay, wait, why? Because yeah, it's the same thing with the Time Turner where you're like, wait, you have time travel now.
And you use it to save a bird?
Yeah. What about this? It's like, no, we can't do that anymore, actually. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, and nobody thought to kill Hitler before we destroyed all of them, so that's still a thing.
Well, did you see the reason for the whole Fantastic Beasts bit is, why do you hate Muggles so much? You see that Hitler fella? the reason for the evil Nazi wizard is because he hates Nazis. And you're like, oh, okay.
But I think they wrote that in because J.K. Rowling hates Jews.
Probably. Yeah,
it's like why in Hogwarts Legacy the owner of the Hogsmeade is like a trans lady. Best character in the game, but it's just in there for spite.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it was straight up them being like, hey, yo, fuck you, bitch. Great character. Actually, good character, though.
Why are these Death Eaters at Universal Studios like
so horny?
Rizzing up my girlfriend and making her wet in public.
Yeah. Yeah, they just like, this is like, it's only been, like, they've been around now like a month.
Like, there was one TikTok, and then they were like, all of you do that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, it's the putting their hand on the wall.
The anime wall slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest, bro. That of all the like the fandoms that I like read fan fiction of, Harry Potter was the worst one. I found maybe 2 that I could stomach my way through because I'm like, oh no, this is actually cool. Like, oh, what if Harry was in Slytherin? Awesome. Oh, this is like something about like, here's the Vila.
Harry Slytherin some cock.
But it's like that. But like, dude, I had to. There was a day I was scrolling pages of like, it's all porn. Like, just I can't escape it. Like, it's literally like Harry gets railed by Dumbledore, and I'm like, why? Harry and Snape have a secret. What the fuck? Hermione gets her back blown out by the entirety of the Slytherin population. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah,
like,
send me that link.
Yeah, I got you. But like, there was like one in between all that. It was like a nice
That's disgusting. Where did he post those?
Tell me so I can know to avoid it.
Yeah, there's so many of those sites, but which one?
Which one did he use?
You find Matt with like Charlie and Oh It's Sunny with the board. It's like, I can't find the site. No, you scroll past. You
What's
see
the
one
name that he says on the board when he's at the office?
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia. I love that episode, dude.
I go up to her door and I'm like, Carol.
No
and Carol doesn't exist.
I love It's Always Sunny. It's probably like my favorite show I could just binge. That and now Atlanta.
I was thinking last night I was going to text
rips.
BJ that if we ever had like a manga cafe, clearly we would have like Initial D always on replay, but then on the cafe side, I was thinking what would be like a show that could always be going on, and it would be What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, 100%.
On repeat. Just all the seasons on repeat.
I feel like you could probably hit like It's Always Sunny, All We Do in the Shadows. What are other good ones?
I'd be fine with just What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows is not as offensive, so I think it wouldn't, like, people would get into it and still like laugh and everything.
Yeah.
What made me think of this, I just saw like a TikTok of just all the funny things that Matt Berry does.
Yeah,
I love Matt Berry.
He is so.
It was such
funny.
a nice surprise finding out that he was in Disenchantment.
Yeah, and not as just a throwaway character.
Yeah, he's fucking Merkmer.
Yeah, he shows up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I need to watch more Disenchantment. I actually liked what I saw.
It's really fun.
It's and it's linear, which is so unlike
anything like adult.
That Matt,
stuff,
what's his name? Matt
Groening.
Yeah, Matt Groening does.
Did y'all see everybody's shitting on the Rick and Morty anime?
We watched the first episode, and it was weird as fuck.
Yeah, I was there with y'all watching it, but like even
I did not like one bit of it.
I saw like Moist Critical put out his video. He's like, I can't fucking watch this anymore. Like I don't know it's weird. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like it just I don't get it.
They could have just done Rick and Morty, but it's all anime jokes, like Deadpool Samurai. If they had just animated
fucking great, by the way. They're doing more of that.
Hell yeah.
All Might shows up in that.
I know.
All Might just
he shows up to fight Thanos with Deadpool.
Yeah, it's actually fucking cool. They're like dude, and it's
All Might would sweep Thanos.
He does. What's it called?
Detroit Smash.
Detroit Smash.
Like not even like Doctor Strange can like blow away like city streets with a punch, just using the power of wind. Mm-hmm. Nobody in the Marvel universe. Well,
in the Marvel universe,
MCU.
Hulk could.
Yeah, I was gonna say MCU.
Well, MCU. Hulk could not.
Yeah.
Nobody in the MCU really is that.
They
powerful.
really fucked the Hulk in the MCU.
That's another thing. I was thinking about this because this the Goku versus Superman debate of like, oh yeah, who would win? And it's like, who would like if you put like actual like American comic book heroes, who would go into the My Hero universe and like stomp completely?
Dude, Hulk solos
Iceman.
every verse.
I think Superman would like just be like pretty powerful there too.
Superman would rip.
The Flash would be faster.
Yeah, but I mean, are we powering them up?
No, just their comic counterpart thrown in.
I mean, yeah, they would be really good. I mean,
like, but the thing is, like, I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, obviously,
I will say the biggest thing that a lot of comic book superheroes have against anime is their
500 years of publication that they
is like I'm talking about power wise is like Superman. Like if you're going up against All Might, like All Might is definitely stronger than anything out there. Again, just like the power of his punch using the wind creates craters. But Superman and all these other guys have really high like sustainability. Like they can take punches like
right. Superman is virtually indestructible and he's canonically held up the universe on his shoulders.
Yeah, like so a lot of these people it's more just like defensive ability.
So the thing is we've seen
withstanding
like
ability.
Like you're saying like, oh yeah, All Might could do all that. Superman would break All Might's bones in one punch. He is canonically holds back most times he fights. Until the few times he doesn't, he almost borderline breaks
canonically
planets.
Spider-Man is
one of the strongest fucking people. Yeah,
is insanely strong.
Yeah, no, Spider-Man
stronger than Captain America for sure.
Oh,
what was the one? What's that comic panel that freaked me? He like grabbed someone's like skin and like was stretching it out. Was it Kingpin or was it?
I think that's what I was gonna say. Is that when he goes to the prison to fight Kingpin?
It was like the way they drew it. I was like, ugh.
Have you seen that panel in that not Deadpool, but Daredevil comic where he goes to fuck up Kingpin?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm not alone. And you see Spider-Man in the shadows just on that web.
Dude. Oh, fuck. Okay.
I will say in the MCU, they did Spider-Man justice one time, which is like you canonically like Winter Soldier is like is almost as strong, or if not stronger, than Captain America.
And he just stops it.
He catches it and like moves his hand around. He's like, "Wow, metal arm. That's cool. That's pretty cool." And you see Bucky like,
"What the fuck?"
That and then him using his spider sense with Mysterio, where he like catches the fucking gun, like as it shoots to where it misses him, and like it like ricochets at Mysterio.
If they fuck up Thunderbolts, it's so over.
What's Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts. It's what they've been building to, like in the Black Widow movie and everything. The lady from Seinfeld shows up and she's like, "Hey, Yelena, I'm doing another Avengers. Come be a part of my Avengers."
And it's gonna be run by
the lady from Seinfeld.
Yeah,
like Elaine.
Yeah.
Oh,
she shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing an Avengers. You are one of the Avengers. It's gonna be cool. We got gambling and hookers, and there's like 3 other Captain Americas."
Is that the one with?
It's their Suicide Squad basically. It's
like
Bucky,
the Dark Avengers.
It's Bucky, U.S. Agent. So John Walker, the guy from Falcon Winter Soldier, the Captain America, Yelena, Black Widow.
I'm just happy that Yelena is still being used.
I think Zemo, maybe.
I thought Zemo like full died.
Dude,
no, he was taken to Wakanda.
Right.
Yeah. So it's that bitch from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the one who can fucking.
But
whatever.
my thing is the best part about the Thunderbolts comics is fucking the Punisher. Mm-hmm. Get John Bernthal on that shit.
Hey, Daredevil Born Again is happening.
We just saw a movie with him.
Yeah.
As a dead brother again.
Dead brother. He's the best dead brother. Shout out to my boys that I don't actually know. Jeremy Allen White and Eben Moses. They both won Emmys for The Bear again.
And who's the woman? The Hispanic woman.
The woman.
Oh, Tina.
Tina won.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
She won.
That's
nice.
great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, good for them. They deserved it.
Yeah. What did Jeremy Allen White? Because I know that best lead in a series went to the Asian guy from
Shogun. He got best lead in a comedy.
The Bear is a comedy.
It's a dark comedy. Okay. It's about as comedic as like Barry, but like in different ways. Where it's like
Barry's way more comedic.
Yeah, but Barry's more comedic in the sense of like fucked up comedy.
No, see, Barry's thing it's funny then goes dark. The Bear is dark
and sometimes something makes you laugh.
Yeah, that's the difference with the Bear.
The Bear is a dark comedy in the sense that like it's funny unless you also understand the bit.
The Bear is
like,
a comedy
it's funny
in the Shakespearean sense.
Yeah.
It's the trauma funny.
Well, like it's well, no, you can laugh at it if you know what they're going through, because like. And this is the least amount of trauma, but that episode of how the online order is going on and being a terrible day. I remember telling that to a friend. He was like, "Oh yeah, it was so like I didn't like that." I was like, I was laughing hysterically because I've been through that.
Dude,
that
the Christmas episode destroyed Matt's brain. The night that we watched that, he was just like silent, and then he had to like pause it for like 45 minutes and then come back and finish it. And then the next day he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, like." I was processing a lot when we were watching that. I'm sorry. Like, I know you said you really related to that episode. I just wanted to hug you and tell you I'm sorry. And it was just like, it's okay. Just feel better, please.
Look at you. That's what. No,
it's BJ gets so traumatized when I'm traumatized.
Well, no, that's what's funny to me.
Stressing out on Friday, and he was like, "Let's go to." Where was it? Fozzie's. Let's go to Fozzie's. And I was like, oh, okay. And in my head, like when it was happening, I didn't connect it to you just wanting to like take care of me. But when I was like, oh, we're just hanging out. And
I love.
He was like, yeah, he was feeling bad, so we went out to Fozzie's.
I love that because like that's exactly what I mean by the Bear being like a dark comedy. Or BJ watched it and was like, oh yeah, I've been through this, and you can kind of poke fun at it. Mm-hmm. Matt sits through and is like, fuck. Like yeah, you could watch it and be like,
as dumb as it sounds, it is like it's just. Like, that's why I can't watch certain things, because I emotionally, like, attach myself, and it's hard to separate what I'm seeing, like, to what I feel in reality. Of, like, oh, I'm not actually going through this. Or I do connect something, and I go, well, this is triggering, and I don't like using that word, but shit is.
I mean, I think that's why I like a lot of different things at this point, because it doesn't take much for me to, like, emotionally invest into something, because it's, like, for me, it's, like...
That's my problem. It's too easy.
It's too easy to get in.
Well, because it's why I love like story-driven games. It's like you look at like not Space Marine doesn't really have much emotion, just hype. But like I'm almost done with it. But I'm playing this game called like Tales of Kinzara Zhao, which is like a Metroidvania about this. It's like set with like in African mythology and stuff like that. But it's this kid who his dad died, and he's trying to come to terms with it. And his dad wrote him a story about an African shaman who is also going through the trauma of losing their dad and trying to get his dad back from the underworld or whatever.
Oh, is that the game that the guy who plays
Bayek? He's Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origin.
In Baldur's Gate, he's a Astarian.
He's probably, but he's in House of the Dragon. He's in a bunch of other stuff too. He's that Abadu.
No, I'm just talking about, because I remember Astarian right after Baldur's Gate was like, hey, I'm in this African video game.
Well, he wrote into, because it's his game studio, if it's the same guy I'm talking about, but his dad died and he wrote a game about it.
You guys ever seen Big Fish?
No, I've heard about it.
It's really fucking good.
I've heard people, like, when it was coming out, People were super into it.
I watched it with my dad when I was a kid, and I didn't really pick up on everything. And then I watched it like a year ago, and I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, it's actually not a bad game. Like if you like Metroidvanias, it's actually about similar to I think the new Prince of Persia is a better mechanically game, but like it's pretty good for like a 2D Metroidvania style game. Like I was like, oh, I'm having fun, and then the story was actually kind of like, oh damn, and like you were saying, I like will just resonate with the character even if like I don't have the same thing going with them. I'll just be like, oh, I feel their pain, and it's like, oh man, like yeah, grief sucks.
My big problem is when Matt breaks, I break because Matt is like my emotional rock, and like every time I'm down, Matt's always there to be like, dude, it's gonna be okay. Like you're always upbeat. But then, I'm always down. But then every once in a while, you'll go down, and I'm like, "Fuck!" The ship's going down.
When Matt's sad, BJ's brain is like the SpongeBob, like the filing cabinet's on fire, everything's going fucked.
Yeah,
he's like, "Fuck! Fuck!"
We threw out his name.
Yeah.
Speaking of, so we watched Peanut Butter Falcon.
Great,
just a feel good movie.
Amazing movie.
Feel good movie.
Best dead brother.
Best dead brother.
Best dead brother. And there's another thing that I really want to talk about, but I forgot. So it probably wasn't important.
I've been getting back in because I'm periodically been reading them, but like I've been reading a lot of Daredevil comics. Again, I'm finally on Chip Zdarsky's run. Dude, Daredevil is the most consistently good character in Marvel Comics.
Yeah, dude, Daredevil
I don't think
rips.
he's had like a legitimate, well, as far as I've read, a legitimately bad run.
Even in like Rebirth, he was like the peak.
He's so good. Like Chip Zdarsky's run is great because it starts with him like accidentally killing somebody, and he just fully says like he unveils himself as Daredevil. Well, no, he doesn't. He's in the mask.
What's
and he goes,
the game that you were playing?
That's the whole thing. Where he's
Tales
like,
of Kinzara Zhao. That's the game I was talking about. But
that's the one where he's like, Daredevil's gonna go to jail,
Yes.
but I'm keeping my mask on the whole time.
Yeah, and then it also gives more character growth to Elektra, because she takes over as Daredevil for a while to like fight the streets.
That's where that came from.
And so she has to, because she's like, I'm gonna honor Matt's code of no killing. And there's so many moments.
Has to be really hard for Elektra.
It is very hard. Like there's moments.
Yeah,
where
Neil Newborn was a voice actor in that.
Dude, it's legitimately a good game. I was like, and it I think unfairly got swept into the whole like, look at all these woke games with all this other stuff, because it's like, you know, you look at it and you could probably say, oh yeah, sure, but like actually playing it, because it was on PlayStation Plus, I was like, fuck it, and I was like, this game is just about grief, like just fundamentally about grief and like getting over that. And I was like, damn, this game's really good. I didn't expect that kind of story from a Metroidvania like that.
Yeah.
But it was good. But yeah, no, Daredevil, like, dude, Matt, you need to watch the Amazon show. You need to watch the show because we're getting a new season. Punisher's gonna be back in it. I'm so hyped for it.
I just want you to watch Daredevil so that you can have context to watch the Punisher.
Yeah. Like it's so fucking good.
I'd do it again.
I've also been I finally I don't know why I got this, but I was like, I really want to play like I was thinking about it because I watched a TikTok where it was like best strategy games, and like they had like just some PC ones, whatever, and then the triangle strategy was on there, and I was like, oh hell yeah, Tactics Ogre. And I was like, I kind of want to play strategy games, so I was like, I don't know, well fuck it, whatever. And I finally just opened up my Switch and it was like, you know what, fuck it. So I started Three Houses for Fire Emblem.
Oh hell yeah.
And dude, that, and I remember because I actually decided to look. I played the prologue for both Engage and Three Houses. Engage is fucking garbage comparatively.
That's what I'm saying.
Both in its presentation. Now, combat wise, Engage is better. It has better utility, better like stuff generally in that front. But damn, I hate the story, and it's just something as simple as the menus. The menu in Engage is the simplest, just like, all right, here's whatever. The one in Three Houses is like,
yeah, that dynamic.
Yeah.
So I remember what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Two things. So first of all, have you read any more Solar War?
Solar War? I have not. I need to. Yeah. I it's been a minute that I'm kind of like, I need to get, because I also really want to start The Witcher, but I'm like, no, I need to finish Solar War. But I'm like, literally, like Last Wish is on my desk, and I'm just like, fuck.
So, what's the guy? I can't believe I'm wanting to talk about something. Anyway, the guy who's the chapter master of the Black Templars, Sigismund. So I was, again, been talking to Cody a lot and just like asking him random questions. So I learned though that Sigismund is like one of the best like bladed weapon combat like in the entire galaxy.
I mean, they even in Solar War, they kind of like, he's like searching for death or whatever it is. And,
so like,
but he's like he's fighting the way they write it. It's like
Sanguinius says like, oh, like everyone says that Rogel Dorn is his master. The only master to Sigismund is death itself, and just because he's so skilled with a blade. And I was like, oh my god, Sigismund's like I love that just in a universe where it's not just like, in Shonen where there's like, oh, there's two people and they're those guys.
It's like every named character.
An entire universe
Everyone
of hymns.
is that guy.
Yeah.
And I just, it just is so...
Speaking of Sigismund, I was looking at the website that he bought the Ultramarine figure from. They make a bunch of Warhammer figures, and they made one of Sigismund that is really fucking cool.
There's one, because I think, is it Joy Toy? Mm-hmm. They have some stuff on Amazon.
Which is an AliExpress or Alibaba, IP. Like Alibaba owns them and they get official licenses. It's such a weird.
They have some on Amazon, and the ones I saw that were like sick as fuck. Where
don't buy it on Amazon.
Are they better on their website?
Yes, you'll have to wait
way cheaper.
3 weeks.
Way cheaper, yeah.
But they're like $25.
Yeah.
Literally, they, as I told you, they came out with the 3 figures from Space Marine 2 online, like on Amazon and even on their website. It's like $51 each, or like maybe like $40 each. On AliExpress, it's $51 for all 3.
Because I was tempted to buy Rabuti Gillimon and Rogel Dorn, because like their sets look sick as fuck.
Yeah, they're really cool. Well, yeah, I've just been, again, now that like I have more context about stuff and I'm learning more, wanting to do a Primarchs video and start with like Vulcan, because also Vulcan is also him. Like, he apparently is the tallest Primarch at like 8. No, not even 8. Like
10 feet.
Yeah, he is huge, and he was third in line to sit on the Golden Throne during the Great Crusade, during the like Great Crusade and Horus Heresy kind of era.
Was the second Sanguinius?
No, the second was this guy named Magnus. No, not Magnus the Red. It starts with an M. But he was like the second most powerful psyker, and he sat on it for a while, but his body essentially died and was being held together by his like psychic spirit, and that was the only thing that was keeping him alive, was just like his psychic power. He was really powerful, but then that's why Vulcan was third, because he's an eternal, or what is it?
One of those undead guys.
Yes.
When he dies,
because
he
they're
just
like,
regenerates.
even if the chair, like the Golden Throne, destroys his body,
he'll just regenerate.
Yeah. So that's why he was third. It's like, he's not that powerful at psychic.
When you mean third to sit on the throne, was this before the Emperor was placed on it?
So the Emperor had to go away during like the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, and so they needed people to maintain the Astronomicon.
Got it. Okay.
And so
then as the Emperor was dying, they set him on the throne to keep him alive.
Yeah. Yes.
Even though I think now he's just a fucking decaying husk that is being kept alive by his mind, basically.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I mean, yes, he's not like, he's on the brink of death. He's hooked up to tubes, like he can speak, which is, again, he had a conversation with Gillimon, and
which we still don't know about, which I need to know.
Of course, that's the one thing. Of course, because it like wrecked Gillimon.
I want to read because that's one of the reasons why I want to read the Dark Imperium trilogy, because Gillimon's like the guy in that. He's the protagonist apparently.
Yeah.
But like, and he seems to be my most interested to learn about Primarch, because like he has such a central stage in like current Warhammer, where he's like kind of like one of the main like people to like look into.
People like, consider him to be the hand of the Emperor, now that the Emperor's kind of incapacitated.
But it's the idea of like, because like throughout Horus Heresy, and like, or at least throughout the Siege of Dawn, like what I've read so far, what I've looked into, his whole thing is he was too late. Like, he was on his way back to
and then a warp storm happened and fucked him over.
And then the fact that to get like, also Gillimon's one of the only like people in Warhammer on the Imperium side who's like kind of cool with the Eldar, because they helped revive him. Like, to get Gillimon revived, it was a joint venture between.
So the Eldar are weird. I've learned more. Yeah. So they're like, essentially,
they're space elves, basically.
They're just space elves. But their whole thing is like, just like elves, like they don't really get sick. Like, their normal lifetime is like 1,000
thousands of years. Yeah.
It's like 1,000 years. But like, they were built to defeat the Necron, by like psychic gods, not like the chaos gods, but like essentially psychic gods.
Yeah.
Like the demigods of psychic, and they're like, their whole thing is like they feel emotions. That's why they're like so psychically powered, is their like emotions are like, they'll experience joy more than any person could ever think to experience joy, and then also the opposite. But their like whole thing
they're bipolar.
Yeah, but their whole thing is like they're kind of like not neutral, because the Imperium is very xenophobic, but it's a weird relationship, because again their whole thing is like, nope, we need to defeat the Necron, because the Necron were like all anti. They have like no connection to the warp and to psychic, The
Necrons, I looked up a video about their shit. Their shit's really interesting because they made a deal with like a demon, and then that's why they became like this machine race. And like, if your soul wasn't like powerful enough, you were just a husk. But if you had like a strong enough will, you could still have like free will and have like emotions and stuff.
Yeah, they're terrifying to fight because of their Necron weapons are like terrifying, because essentially when you get shot, you just see like it's like a whole thing that's like one shot you're dead. Doesn't matter. It's like Star Wars. Like you just one laser blast anywhere on the body and you die.
Yeah.
Because
regardless of what armor you have.
It's just like this dark energy thing where it just like eats away at your whole body, and then it's like a black hole, and then boom, you're done.
Yeah.
No matter what. It's
like going to England and having somebody throw acid in your face.
That's true.
But it's why I like the Eldar, because like Guilliman. Now to be fair, he's not like sitting there saying, "Yo, the Eldar are really cool." It's a thing of like, of all the people, Guilliman is now like, and apparently because of that, the Ultramarines for the most part, if they see Eldar, it's not a shoot on sight. It's a, what's your deal?
Yeah.
And that's that apparently alone has been like a huge thing for Warhammer, where it's like, oh shit, Eldar and Space Marines aren't immediate like, fuck, throw hands. Yeah.
Same with the Tau.
Yeah.
Tau is weird because again, they're like a really early race. Technologically, they're one of the most advanced people. Like they actually
have mechs. Like
they also like
mechs, right?
actually have warp drive technology. Like they actually can travel past the speed of light. They don't have to open a rift in chaos.
We don't have to get a guy super high to see what's going on in there.
Exactly. They don't. They're just like beep boop beep boop boop, and then they just teleport where they need to go.
They just raise hell and praise Dale.
But like the thing is they'll go to like places that like is already under Imperium control and be like, we'll treat you better than the Imperium, and then they'll recruit anybody that is willing.
I was reading because they're
like space communists.
They're humans, and Eldars in the Tau.
Oh yeah, everybody's in the Tau.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Could you imagine if like, because you obviously have like Space Marines who get warped by chaos and trans over. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine a fucking Space Marine who was like, damn, they like actually kind of treat me good.
It'd be a salamander.
Yeah, it would be a salamander, 100%. Like a salamander goes like, damn, like you guys like actually treat each other like family over here. This is kind of crazy.
A squad of salamanders that breaks off.
So
that would be terrifying. Though, when you think about it,
find out what books talk about the Death Korps Krieg, because Krieg is a death world. Already everything chugged, but everyone out of like the Royal Guard, so essentially that get into the Death Korps Krieg, are all just hard as fuck. And they're the ones that look like Jinro. Mm-hmm. But her story about how some Tau and Death Korps are like going against each other, and the only problem though with the Tau is they're super reliant on their tech, and so they're fighting them. And
because aren't they like normal sized people comparatively? Like
they're a little bit taller, but they're not like, I guess they're like 6 foot.
They're not like Space Marine height, or because even Eldar I think are kind of tall too. Right?
Oh, Eldar are super tall. They're like 7-8 feet tall.
And so like to the Tau are like comparatively normal.
Yeah, but yeah, they have just a bunch of mechs and stuff. But again, they're like fighting the Death Korps, and like the battle gets drawn out, and they're like, why they're like unrelenting, they're not backing down, they're not surrendering, like what is up with them? And then to the point where like their batteries on their stuff runs out, and then they just get overwhelmed by guys beating them to death with shovels, because essentially they're all just World War I.
Yeah, like trench motherfuckers.
Yes, yeah, they literally like their melee weapon is a shovel.
Like
it's very like, even if at the minis that you see, they all have like shovels on their back.
I used to be obsessed with the idea of creating a shovel that was like made for battle.
Yeah,
because I played Shovel Knight.
I was gonna mention Shovel Knight. Yeah. So yeah, I'm still like super interested in Warhammer. It's because I haven't been driving to work. I haven't been able to get as far as I would have liked to. But
I want to pick back up, but I'm also in like a weird spot where like my interest in Warhammer is waning, but I'm definitely not as like
Luke
fucking all in on it versus
that's just normal you.
Yeah, well, like I go in phases.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you're always like,
it's a miracle that you finish anything.
It's true. That's what I'm saying. It's not like unnormal. It's pretty on standard for you. It's like he's into Warhammer, but then this other thing has been itching on the side of his mind until one day it'll take over.
Yeah.
Then it'll just cycle and repeat.
like even then, I'm gonna keep it 100% with you. If you weren't playing Warhammer with me, I wouldn't have finished Space Marine. Like, because that inkling.
I'm trying to play more. I'm trying to go through these operations with y'all.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the fact that you want to play is like, oh yeah, the fact that they want to play together.
It's a huge deal that I want to play a game.
It's the fact that you want to play together is like, I'm gonna play together because Matt wants to, like 100%. But like, yeah, if it was up to me, be like, oh yeah, how far you got in Space Marine? Like, I haven't played. Like, I just would, because like I'd be like, this game's great. And
I didn't think it was gonna happen last night.
I was like, that's why I texted. I was like, no, I want to play. Like, I do want to finish it because like I literally was at the fucking finish line.
And then I was like, okay, he's probably getting off around like 9:30. And then I was like, Luke.
I was literally driving on the way
Luke,
home.
And then
also,
BJ's like, it's not gonna happen.
BJ's fucking picture he put in.
Yeah.
BJ got home like
I died
20 minutes after you finally got on.
I was dying because I was driving and I just see out the corner of my eye a picture of a dude sucking his own dick.
Speaking of,
and John was like, oh, because we finished the mission where we beat the Chaos Dreadnought with John, because even though we had beat that together with John,
it was on his file now.
Yeah, and so I was like, hey, let's just wait here, and then we can all finish it together with Luke. And then when you got on, John was like, all right, I'm getting off.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad because I got on like, wait, what happened?
We played PvP a lot. We were doing really well in PvP. I have almost every armor piece unlocked for the heavy, and I look sick as fuck. I finally got the little servitor head on my heavy now that's on the side. Oh,
I'd be down.
As hell.
What nights are you free to play like normally? Like what nights do you not work this week?
Today. And then
which I sadly can't do today. But.
Well, just as a little backstory, this one person at work always no call, no shows multiple times a week.
Nice. And they haven't been fired yet?
No. Oh, but they did that to me again yesterday, and then they texted me at like 7 p.m. Shift starts at 3. And they're like, hey, sorry, I'm still throwing up. And it's like, that's the excuse they use every single time. So I was like, it's fine. You got it by yourself on Wednesday. And then she was like, oh, is that your revenge? LOL, that's nice of you. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So I'm not going in tomorrow. Somebody needs to dole out some punishment, and if management isn't going to do it, it'll be goddamn.
Well, tomorrow afternoon we could play.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be down tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's get to the operation.
Yeah.
We can probably rock out the rest of them. We did one. There's what, 6 total? Yeah.
But then we get to replay them and do harder difficulties with leveled up shit.
I'm actually very excited. Did you guys see they're adding the Dark Angels in on like season 2, like as cosmetic stuff? So like,
I mean, that's dope. I want the big wing helmet.
Yeah, those look sick. I'm definitely the White Scar. Like, just
they also need to add for the.
I want the bike,
the Raven Guard, the
beak.
Yeah. I would love some Raven Guard cosmetics.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I want to fully kit out a White Scar's outfit that I think is sick, and then I think from there I'm either doing Imperial Fist or I'm just gonna go Blood Angels.
I went straight to the fist.
Yeah. I have mine. So on one side I have like, because all of like the things that now I've added are all like silver and gold, and then I have like writing and seals all over it, so it stands out. So I have black on my. It would be. It's on the left, so it's on my right arm and pauldron, and then my left leg is also black, and then the rest is all yellow. But my favorite part though is I have my mask is black, so like in dark areas you can't see my face except for the 2 glowing green eyes. Oh,
it just looks like you're stepping out of the shadows in a Batman comic.
Oh my gosh,
I need to get a hood. That's like my next thing. Is like, I want a hood.
The outfit in the intro is so peak.
So awesome.
Yeah, because they add a bunch of not death. What's it called?
Black Shields.
Death Watch.
Death Watch. They add like Death Watch stuff, so you can do the Death Watch pauldron and like other Death Watch stuff, but they don't give you a Death Watch head.
I want a hood, and then I don't know what it is about armor. Like, you could have the sickest armor ever.
No, dude, the best design of all time is Master Chief wrapped in that cloak.
Yeah, fuck right it is.
What?
Master Chief in that cloak in the desert.
Yes.
Dude, no, there's something about heavily armored motherfuckers who just have pieces of cloth hanging off that shit, and it's the sickest design ever. Yeah.
Guts.
Like, dude, I don't know what it is. You could be armored up like a
Lingering
motherfucker,
wheel.
but on your belt, you have, like, on one side, it's just, like, kind of a tattered something or other, and I'm like,
The cloth
sick
sims
as
look
shit.
really good.
Yeah, dude.
My
Space Marine, I want to get like a prosthetic limb if I can.
You can
have that, and then have like tattered cloaks or some shit.
The thing with my class is like the better cosmetics.
The bulwark, you do get cloth.
That's the thing.
That's the only class that gets it.
Oh, really? Fuck!
The higher you get, the more cloth gets added to the armor.
More cloth physics.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
It's like a full you
raise
Crusader thing.
You raise your arms and it's like wings with the cloth hanging down.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's one thing I love about Space Marine 2 is like the amount of fucking customization they got.
All these people that want
shockingly
customization for Chaos Marines, I'm like, you fucking heretics.
Well, I mean, if you're playing PvP, sure, but like, you know, you looked at me immediately when I said, "Well," and I was like, "Oh shit, okay,
heretics.
sorry." Yeah, BJ
like
can smell heresy from a mile away.
Yeah. Well,
I do want to get to play PvP, at least a couple rounds of PvP at some point. Yeah,
Before we go, I just need to say, if you owned a 2002 Celica GTS in Tennessee and you got it repoed, you should fucking kill yourself for the way you wired that car.
Is it fixed now or fixed?
Far from it, brother.
Can you drive it?
I can drive it just fine.
Okay.
But one of the turn signals is stuck on, which before they didn't work at all. You didn't want to buy. I know you're not listening to this, but I'm still speaking directly to you,
cunt.
Universally. You didn't want to buy a wiring harness for the radio, so you just fucking monkey wrench that shit, and now everything is fucked. And I will kill you if I ever meet you. So, be prepared.
Yeah, dude, the amount of shit you've had to pay for it. At least it drives now.
Yeah, it drives great. I have so much fun driving that car. And the main thing is I need my blinkers to work, and then I need to add some speakers and get the radio working because I need my jams.
I need to do that. I didn't say this on the podcast, but there was one morning my car battery wouldn't start because I left the light on or whatever. But it was dead to where even when I unlocked the door to like get in my car to pump the truck, the second I like revved it, the alarm was blaring like I fucking broke into it, and I was like, fuck. And it fucked me up because my radio has an anti-theft thing on it. So now if I want to get my radio working, I have to call Honda with my driver's license number and my the license plate number, and then I guess the serial number for the car or whatever, and then they will get.
So that happened to Kevin. There's two things you can do. One of them, just write down that code.
Yeah, I have to find the code. Yeah,
there's also a website that you can go and do that on.
Okay, yeah.
If you did a radio swap, would that fix it?
Probably.
It's probably part of the radio.
Yeah. Well,
whenever Kevin's battery would die when he would get home from any vacation or something like that, or leave a light on, he would be without a radio. But the thing about Kevin though is he would just write it down and then just
lose it.
Use the same.
Yeah, lose it, and then he would be like, "Well, I don't know what it's happened."
No, if I get that code, I'm putting it somewhere in my phone, but also gonna throw it in my glove compartment so it's there always.
We were gonna go get Kevin at the airport one day, and we were gonna take his car, and we got in it, and we were like, "Oh, the radio doesn't work." So we fully turned back around to come get a car with a radio.
Yeah.
No, I literally have a kind of shitty speaker in my car that I'm using because I just haven't gotten around to either calling or going online.
I'm pretty sure there's websites now that do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we did for Kevin the last time. We just looked up all the possible codes.
Oh really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I need to do because I want my radio back because I have literally an Amazon Echo plug-in thing to make it all nice and Bluetooth, and I'm like, fuck, I can't use it. This sucks. And also the clock is also wrong too, and I can't change that either. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool, great.
Well, I want to shout out our sponsor, Dubby.
Big shout out, Dubby.
Yeah, I had some Dubby today. Wake me up, and it was great. And if you want some jitterless energy from the coffee extract with no added artificial colors, use code TakeItSleazy at checkout.
There's a new creator cup apparently, and a new flavor, a limited flavor I think called Grandpa's Ashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Maybe we'll be up on that site one day, and you can go buy a shaker or a flavor thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as always,
take it sleazy.